There are hotel brands that spend billions telling you they are the best. And then there is Aman, which spends almost nothing on advertising, has no loyalty program, no mass marketing, and charges up to $10,000 a night. And somehow the people who have stayed there once will never stay anywhere else. Today we find out exactly why. There is a luxury list of hotels and resorts that circulates quietly among the world's most well-traveled women that is not published anywhere. It is not hashtagged on social media, it is just passed between people who know. It is a short list of exclusive luxury hotel brands, and at the top of it almost always is a single name, Aman. That name is not the Ritz or any of the brands that people spend hundreds of millions on every year. Aman is a luxury hotel brand with no advertising budget to speak of, no loyalty points, and no mass market appeal. It is an exclusive luxury hotel brand that most people have never heard of, and that is in part precisely the point. Aman has fewer than 40 properties worldwide, and in an industry where competitors measure success by how many new hotels they opened last quarter, Aman has spent 50 years deliberately not growing in size but in revenue. And yet among a very specific group of travelers, mainly affluent women who have stayed everywhere, seen everything, and stopped being impressed by things that are merely expensive, Aman is the only conversation worth having. Today we are going to find out why. We are going to look at its business model, the origin story of how it was created, the economics of deliberate scarcity, and most importantly, what Aman understands about the way affluent women actually experience luxury that most hotel brands have never figured out. In 1988, a man named Adrian Zecher opened a hotel on a hillside in Phuket, Thailand. He called it Amanpuri. In Sanskrit, that means place of peace. Zecher was not a hotelier by training. He was an Indonesian-born entrepreneur with a background in media and a very specific idea about what was missing from luxury travel. He had observed something that almost everyone in the industry had missed, and it was that most sophisticated travelers in the world, people who could afford to stay anywhere, were not actually happy with their luxury accommodation options because they were often staying in grand hotels that were technically flawless and emotionally hollow, despite their beautiful lobbies and 5-star impeccable services. Most of the hotels had absolutely no sense about who each of their hotel guests were, nor did they care why they were staying with them. Zecher also believed that real luxury was not about grandeur, but about the feeling that you had arrived somewhere that had been designed not for a market segment, but for a specific kind of person, and that special person was you. He wanted to create a hotel for a person who valued silence over spectacle, space over facilities, and beautiful views over the amenities list. Zecher's first hotel, Amanpuri, was 40 pavilions perched on a hillside. There were no conference rooms, no children's club, and no organized entertainment for the adults. Just the sea, the jungle, and Thai architecture that felt as though it had always been there, including staff-to-guest ratio so high that most guests never needed to ask for anything twice. The first guests were a small group of people who had heard about it through word of mouth, and by the end of that first year, there was a waiting list. Zecher did not initially set out to build a chain of luxury boutique hotels. He initially set out to build a single sanctuary, but the people who came to Amanpuri did not want Aman to be the only one in Phuket. They wanted to find that same feeling and experience again in naturally beautiful and ancient locations like Bali, the Maldives, the Utah desert, and the mountains of Bhutan. And so the Aman hotel business grew, but always slowly, carefully, and always with one rule that has never changed. Every Aman must feel like it's the only Aman. Now, let us talk about the economics of what Aman actually does, because the numbers are extraordinary. Aman's average nightly rate across its portfolio is somewhere between $3,000 and $10,000. Amangiri in Utah, which is one of its most photographed properties, runs at approximately $4,000 to $8,000 per night, depending on season and suite. Aman New York starts at around $4,000 a night for an entry room in what was formerly the Crown Building on Fifth Avenue. To put these numbers into context, a 5-star Four Seasons or Ritz-Carlton typically runs between $800 and $2,000 a night. Aman charges 3 to 5 times that, and it has a long waiting lists for each and every one of its exclusive properties. How is that possible? The answer is scarcity, but not manufactured scarcity. It is actual, structural, and deliberate scarcity. You see, Aman has never built a property larger than 40 suites or villas. Most of their properties have fewer than 30 suites. In a world where the economics of hotel management push properties toward larger room counts to amortize fixed costs, Aman has done the opposite. They have kept the properties tiny and pushed the price up to compensate. But here is the subtler point. Scarcity is not just about price. It is about the feeling of having access to something that most people do not. When you stay at an Aman property, you are unlikely to encounter anyone you did not choose to spend time with because the property is never crowded. There is never a queue at breakfast, and there is never the sensation of being in a hotel that is operating at maximum occupancy. That feeling of being one of very few people is an exceptional sensation, and it is impossible to manufacture at scale. And Aman has understood how to invoke it precisely well, that the moment they try to scale up their suites and locations, they risk destroying that feeling of exclusive, quiet luxury that they are actually selling. There is a reason Aman has one of the highest proportions of solo female travelers and female-led groups of any luxury brand in the world. And it is not the reason most hotel brands would guess. It is not their spa treatments, it is not the wellness programs, it is not the marketing that mainly features women. It is something much more structural than that. Affluent women who travel solo and those who travel extensively usually have high standards for their time and the spaces that they occupy, that they are not easily impressed by things that are merely expensive. This is the reason why they have specific problems with most luxury hotels. One of the problems with most luxury hotels is their focus on the wrong things, such as a busy and loud lobby where everyone's arrival is visible performance. Another invasive part of many luxury hotels is the pool area, where the sunbeds are arranged too close together for maximum visibility with little room for privacy. Then there are their hotel restaurants, where the lighting is for being seen rather than for eating privately and comfortably. It is this constant pervasive pressure to perform and to be seen at most 5-star properties, the feeling that a luxury hotel is a stage and you are one of the cast members. This alone keeps many affluent women away from staying at famous 5-star luxury brand hotels and choosing Aman instead. Aman was never designed for visibility. It was designed for privacy instead. It provides affluent women travelers the kind of space and peace of mind to be completely yourself, whether that is reading for 6 hours without being interrupted, having breakfast in absolute silence, walking to the edge of a canyon at dawn without another person in sight. That is not something that most luxury brands understand how to build, and the women who have found Aman and have experienced that particular quality of peace do not talk about it loudly. they keep it close to their hearts. They come back for their vacations and they bring other women whom they trust to enjoy and understand the quiet luxury that Aman exclusively offers women. That exclusive access passed between different women is what creates the loyalty that no marketing budget can manufacture. I find it admirable that the Aman brand built not only beautiful hotels, but they have also built a philosophy about meeting the privacy needs and wants of each woman who visits and leaves an Aman hotel. Aman is one of very few brands in the world that understands that delivering privacy and comfort for women specifically is not a just clever marketing decision. It is an architecture decision, a staffing decision which requires the presence of scarcity. These quiet luxury values which Aman has baked into their DNA and every business decision consistently for nearly 50 years makes its existence for affluent solo women travelers important. But Aman is not without its complications. In 2021, Aman opened its first urban property, Aman New York, in the Crown Building on 5th Avenue. It was, by every visual metric, extraordinary. The architecture, the spa, the residences attached to the hotel, all executed with the precision and restraint that defines the brand. And yet the question it raised was the one that has hovered over Aman for the last decade. Can you bring the Aman feeling to a city and to a building where 5th Avenue traffic runs 60 feet below your window, where you cannot walk to the edge of a canyon or watch the sun rise over an empty ocean, where the fundamental condition of urban life, density, noise, proximity to strangers, is this the precise opposite and contradiction of everything Aman was designed around? The answer from many of Aman's most loyal guests is partial. Many of them say that Aman New York is beautiful, but it is a different kind of beautiful. It is beautiful the way an extremely well-designed apartment in Manhattan is beautiful. The New York hotel and location is not naturally beautiful the way Amangiri is beautiful. And it is not beautiful in the way that makes you want to sit still and be nowhere else. The third and perhaps most interesting development is the Aman Club. Launched quietly and without mass announcement, the Aman Club offers membership for approximately $200,000, granting access to priority booking, exclusive events, and residences attached to Aman properties. This is not a loyalty program. Loyalty programs are transactional in the sense that you accumulate points and you redeem the rewards and the relationship is mathematical. The Aman Club, on the other hand, is something else entirely. It is a community strategy and it is the formalization of what was already true informally. It forms an Aman-selected group of guests who share a specific set of values about how they want to spend their time and their money. In short, the club simply gives that Aman community a structure and a name. It is the Aman culture strategy which makes it very different and much more defensible than having a hotel loyalty program. What Aman teaches us is that in an industry built on telling people they deserve the best, the most powerful thing you can do is decide very clearly who the best is actually for, and then never compromise on that. That is not a hospitality strategy, that's a value strategy. And the reason it works is because the people Aman built it for can feel the difference between a hotel that made that decision and another luxury hotel that did not. If you want to know which Aman properties are on my list and why 2 of them are not what most people would expect, remember to subscribe and come back for that next video. She Lux Travel. For solo women travelers who enjoy quiet luxury travel. See you in the next video.